Hello, Flosstube friends. This is Silly Notion Stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 4, and I'm coming to you Sunday, March 19th, 2023 from the Villages. I'm here for the month of March, renting in this lovely home. I work remotely, so I am working from here and have had the chance to actually go into the office so far one time, but I'm going to be going a few more times before the end of the month. So this is the scenery behind our rental, and we splurged. I'm here with my mom. We love going in that little pool. Sorry for the shakiness. And there is a golf hole behind us, and there is a local square where they have live music every night, so I can hear that the music has started. You probably won't be able to hear anything, but I'm trying to see if that is one of our friendly birds. Oh yes, that's the white egret, but we often have a blue heron that comes to visit. Well, he's busy at work getting his meal. So the lighting in here gets a little dim in the afternoon, so I'm gonna try to work with this angle with a nice palm tree in the background for you. Okay, so this is a channel about my cross stitching primarily, but I do have my Silly Notions name because I do enjoy finding vintage sewing notions, and I show that sometimes as part of my haul. I am also a quilter, and I sew and have made handbags, so I do have a little bit to show in my haul in that section, but that will be at the end. And I have one Easter finish that's very exciting, and I have a few Easter whips. This is going to be a little haphazard of digging some things out of bags as we go along, so I should have done a little bit more prep. But I have my book of days in my happy planner. So I do still like to use a planner for work. It's really just a lot of mostly like to-do list type stuff just to kind of keep me on track. I'm a technical communications, internal communications writer, and just have so many different competing deadlines and have to just make sure I'm meeting my deadlines each day. But I do like to, this year I decided if I was going to do this book again, I wanted to make it work in the planner. So I did manually cut the book of days apart and made it work in this. So it's been working fine. So this is February. February really got away from me in terms of keeping track in here, and I also found that stitching was challenging. I did do stitching, but didn't track it very well. But what I wanted to show was that I have been having some great opportunities to visit different L&S shops that are really not my L&S shop, so it's been really great. So Salty Yarns in Ocean City, Maryland. I got to go with a friend of mine, stay overnight, and they just relocated to a really nice large retail space so we can all like really move around. So we spent quite a lot of time analyzing the flosses, analyzing charts. That was fun weekend. For March, I've been a little bit better actually keeping track. I'm hoping that this writing is reproducing correctly. And I do have, from a few years ago, I used to work at QVC, so I used to get deep employee discounts on certain sample products, and so I do have an early version of the HP Sprocket. So that is the new type of Polaroid type camera experience, and what's really cool is that it's really perfect for us cross stitchers who like to take pictures along the way of what we're working on and put them right in our book of days. So that is that. And I'm going to dig out the finish that I have. So I really was a monogamous stitcher. Started this on Super Bowl Sunday. It all started with this letter R, and when the Eagles were still hopeful in winning the Super Bowl, and of course that did not happen, but this is my finish. I think I finished this last Tuesday. So just showing this little bunny girl. So this is from the Brenda Gervais Jellybean Jubillee book from 2021, and the Easter girl there, she actually went on a diet compared to the chart, the actual chart, and her carrot got a little long, but it's all fun. So I think I'm going to make this into a pillow. Well, I know that I am. And it's a shame I found this perfect backing fabric on one of my many fabric store shopping sprees down here. That's going to work really nicely. So hopefully you'll see that in a future video. This is Legacy Linen, I believe, and I don't remember the name of it. I feel like it's called like Tafetta Cream or something, and it's really, really nice to work with. I have not been a linen stitcher. I've been very nervous about it. I have switched to some even weave, and I've been purchasing quite a lot of Lugana as I've been down here. So I just really love working with this, and you can see the difference that it is. It's actually a 20 count, but when I got it at Salty Yarns, Sarah is who runs the store now, but her mother is still very involved in the shop, and her mother loves using this large count, and her mother's the one who said that it really converts to more of a 16 count. Not 16 count. It would be higher than that. No, I guess 16 count. Although when I look at that doesn't seem right. Oh, the reason it doesn't seem right is because I am doing 2/2. I'm actually doing a whole DMC thread over 2 is what I did for this one. When I've been working on these Thanksgiving pilgrims, they are not quite finished yet. I want to do those as stand-ups on this same fabric. I was doing 4 threads over 2. Just double checking if I'm doing over 2 or am I doing over more than that? No, it's over 2. Okay, so that was that finish, and I'm very excited about that. Let's see if I can dig out my other whips. Okay, so a few years back, I think it was 2020, when the Country Cottage Needleworks the Sampler of the Month series came out. I had just started stitching and was like, yes, I'm all in. I want all months of that. So I am still working on quite a few months, but this is my April. And what I've decided is that all of these sampler charts have a row on the top and the bottom. Most of them are about the same, that it's kind of like foliage, and each one is done maybe a little bit different to match the season or the month. I, in just the interest of time and wanting to accomplish them and get them finished and actually use them now, I got these charts like around Christmas time of 2020. So it's been a full 2 years, and I have January, February, March finished, and I've been enjoying those the last 2 years. But then when we get to April, I don't have any more. Oh, I do have July finished. So I'm pretty much going to end with, I'll put a purple line under here. Then I do want to do some back stitching in here with these windows. I changed the color on the house. I just wanted to do a little bit more lavender, and I don't even think lavender was used in the called for colors. So, and the bunnies on this were the white. So I did change those to this pink. But I will get that finished, and I post those, like I use magnets on the back, and then I interchange it on a easel that I got, like a chalkboard easel that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I know that I've seen on Instagram that other people are using that same frame because it's like a vertical oblong type setup. Okay, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm trying to find my words. Okay, and then this other work in progress, another whip. Oh, I thought I was so much more farther along than this. This is my Penelope. Oh my, I've got quite a lot to do. So this is Penelope, and I probably started this spring of 2021. This is by Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla Blaine's design. And I do love the mottled fabric. This is the Lori Holt. Totally cannot remember what this was called, but it's sort of a printed Ada, because on the back it's just white, but it's got really nice modeling, and unfortunately the color, I mean the lighting in here just is not the best for this today. But I am also using the same Ada for some of the seed packs that I picked out with Stitching with the Housewives. I just loved that series when that came out. That was also like spring of 2021. I thought that was the most brilliant idea that she had to do those. And I was starting just a tiny little garden that year. So, you know, we were still all like deep in COVID of disarray and everything, and just, you know, little things like that that would surprise us along the way in cross stitch land would just, you know, make my heart leap. So, all right, so let me see what else is in here. I had shown this before and I brought it along. I must take care of this now. So when I was at Salty Yarns, they have a really great supply of buttons that are, you know, really from just another button company, and buttons that go with cross stitch kits and patterns and stuff. I knew that I wanted to finish this a little bit differently than what was shown in the example, and this was a free chart. I totally cannot now remember who provided this past season. But before I can finish it into a pillow, I do want to put the buttons on first. So I was able to find, you know, it was interesting. I did this sight unseen. Now I've lost one of the buttons. I didn't have my finished piece with me, but I had to pick buttons that were going to be the right size, you know, sort of the right scale, I guess. So the finish pattern showed like yellow stars, and they were, I don't remember if they were, I think they were stitched in, but I was like, yeah, you know what, I just want to kind of move on and whatever. So I did purchase a few different things to sort of try out, and I like these little peppermints. I think they will fit in here. So I must do that really before I get back on the auto train to head home. We came down, March 1st on the auto train so that I could have my car here. I knew that I was going to be driving to the office a few times, and then of course there's places that we have wanted to go, but for the most part we get around on a golf cart. So when you rent down here, I mean, many homeowners have their own golf carts, and there are very well maintained, and just like little roads, there are golf cart trails everywhere. And to really keep the traffic moving, they have roundabouts for the cars, and then the golf carts go under tunnels, so they're going under the intersections, or there are even bridges. And so I've done some fun videos. I've posted them already on my Facebook, and I will post some videos through my Instagram, and probably will try to do it on this video of my mom and I in the golf cart. We were also at a fun St. Patrick's Day parade on Friday, golf cart parade. I mean, the residents like decorate their golf carts, and it's just amazing. So the villages where we are, if I didn't say where we are, I know that it was a planned community, that they were planning to get to a maximum of 100,000 homes here. They have exceeded that, and they have purchased more property, and it now goes way a few miles south of this. So we were at, I discovered that there was a quilting expo this past weekend. Yesterday was National Quilting Day, so happy Quilting Day to all my fellow quilters out there. Quilting Expo near my location, I have to be there. So I did drive to that. That was about a 90-minute drive, and on the way back, we sort of clocked how many miles it was to where we are here from where the villages starts. And it is about, I think it's like 5 or 6 miles below this. So just imagine, like, in your own town or whatever, like the exact same community spreading for miles and miles, vertically and acrosswise. So it's big. It's a big place. But people here are very, very active. And right now there are a lot of families here, kids here visiting their grandparents and stuff. So there's been a lot of people of all ages are visiting right now. Okay. I am trying to find another chart, another whip that I had started. And I'm not sure if I'm coming across that. Okay. I might have to pause you for a moment. Okay, so I'm back now, a little more organized. So the other whip, this is really just a start. I'd have to say this is a start. I loved seeing this as a finish. Last year, one of my local Needleworks shops is Unlimited Stitches in the Lancaster area. The other one is Hodgepodge in Strasbourg. But I loved that little guy. So he is called, that chart is called Let's Paint Eggs, also from the Jellybean Jubillee. And I got his little pants started. So I'm very pleased with myself that this is on a Lugana. I am starting my Lugana journey now, graduating to that, and it really has been pretty easy. Like, you know, 2 years ago I was like, what? I don't know how to do that, but it wasn't too bad. And then I did purchase Daylight. I want to call it Day Spring for some reason. So this is my lamp now of choice that I did upgrade to. I had a different type of daylight lamp that, again, my QVC life contributed to. I was able to score that for like $8, and it's a great little lamp, and I've used it the past 2 years for all my stitching. But It wasn't rechargeable, and the cord length is just not conducive to when I normally have a cat on my lap and have to organize everything. He is at home and I miss him terribly, but I know he's safe and he has very good caregivers coming in every single day, sending me notes and pictures that he's doing well. So, all right, and then my last whip I'm going to show, well, maybe I have another one, is this Happy Easter. This is also on a Lugana that I got on my Salty Yarns shopping spree a few weeks ago. If you didn't know, whilst Iris Naps had provided these free charts, I think these go back either to last year or 2021. They are Easter and spring, whilstirisnaps.com. So look for her free charts, which is very, very nice. She also had another one that I think, oh, the very cute bunnies that are bunny butts that you're stitching. So I do have those. I didn't stitch them yet. Just wanted to show this one as well. That first spring when I was stitching, I found, oh, and this is on 14 count lemon chiffon Ada that I got from 123 Stitch. I really liked this whole series of charts that is by Sugar Stitches. So let me see if I can show this quickly. I really loved this whole, like, his little Jellybean mobile. So this is called Bunny Trail Welcome, and Sugar Stitches Cross Stitch Design, she has this whole series called the Bunny Trail series. Let's see. The series came out in 2020, and I believe I find all of her things on Etsy. This was the chart that I just showed that I didn't quite finish yet. I don't think I have the bunnies on there yet. And let's see if I have others that I can. This is the Bunny Trail series number 2. Just love that look of the gingham touches that she added. Oh, this is Candy Shop. This is chart number 8 in that series, so there's at least 8 charts. Okay, so I think that might, oh, and there is this really, I love this whole tea room. What I am struggling with, I actually pretty much finished the teapot part. I don't love the color. I strayed from what was the called for. I thought I had a floss that I really liked a lot better. It's a very deep purple. But I was picking, I kept to the yellow background, so that's why I was using the yellow Ada, and I'm just not really loving it. So I kind of wonder now if I might actually like a pink, more of a pink teapot with the pink gingham, or maybe do more of a lighter purple, or I really pretty much tried to match this, and it's just not what I was really hoping for. But I do really like it, so I think I will restitch it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the haul section now. I think I was saying that when we first got here, my mom actually spotted this. The people that we're renting from were getting the newspaper, and the newspaper, shockingly, here is thick. Every day it's super fat, and it's not ads. It's filled with content, because this is a community that still really values the newspaper. So she saw the ad for this Notions, sort of like a flea market, so you know, people trying to sort of clean out their stash or whatever. So I was very hopeful that I was going to find vintage cross stitch charts and things, but it really was staying on quilting notions and fabric, which was fine. I was able to find things that, you know, I needed to bring home with me. So this was one item that I grabbed. Very vintage. You know, you can picture this in someone's powder room. The tag, oh, it is a Charles Craft. Yeah, both of them are Charles Craft. The tag is very vintage. Like, I mean, one towel was $1.49. I mean, that's not a terrible difference, I guess. But it's, I can't make that out, but something pottery, Wassermoth pottery or something is where this one was from. So I'm just curious where these came from and that I have to look them up. But they are, of course, like a 14 count in here. So that'll be fun to put something in there. I was very excited to get this Snag Nabbit, very vintage Snag Nabbit. This is the Dritz notion. I'm pretty sure this is what Pam and Steph had talked about, but I could be wrong. That there is maybe a different tool that they were talking about. So yeah, it talks about, it's a repair tool, and they talk about for woven garments, drapes, upholstery, also for needlepoint tapestry and punch embroidery. So for those, you know, stitches that I have that, actually I'm going to have to do that a bit on this one, because some of my stitches just, because I was using an entire 6-strand piece of floss, some of the upper strands would not lay completely together with the rest. So that was, I'm sure, a tension thing with me because I stitch in hand. So I'll have to take a look at that. I scored one of these guys. So this is a seam ripper that, you know, looks like a plain old seam ripper, but then this is sort of what they call like an eraser. So when you have to do a lot of seam ripping and you have a lot of little straggly threads, you just rub this over the fabric and it gets rid of all the thread dust. You're erasing them away. This is kind of funny. I chuckle at myself. There was a woman there that had some knitting things, and this was with it. And I was like, oh. And there was another one that I swear was like the newer floss cutting templates that we're seeing that are nicely done. I totally forget the name of the people that are making them, the couple. But I grabbed this one. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can wrap my DMC around this, trim it, easy, cutting into pieces and put on my floss rings. I get this home and I'm looking at it more closely, and I think this was a weaving shuttle. So you'd wrap yarn around this and then put it through your weaving and just bring it through. But it feels like it's the same, about the same length anyway. So you wrap your DMC floss around here, cut one end, and then you have consistent about 18-inch cuts. It's been a while since I've done my Flosstube. Okay, so we are going to move right into brand new haul, not thrift store haul. Oh wait, I do have one more thrift haul. This was a vintage chart that I did find at the Notion sale. So it is an old lavender and lace, told in a garden chart. So I was kind of just really excited to see a vintage cross stitch chart. I don't know that I would ever really stitch this. I have other told in a garden, the Amish charts that I would much rather, you know, work on and get to completion over something detailed like this. I'm now realizing how detailed that is. And of course the vintage charts are just, just to flash that, are little, this one's actually not too bad. I have some of hers that she hand did the symbols, and haven't started them yet, but that's maybe gonna be a little challenging. Okay, so some of the charts that I picked out, got this at Salty Yarns. The beach, she had a whole beach because she's at Ocean City, Maryland, just not too far from the beach. Her shop now is actually Berlin, Maryland, which is like a town over from Ocean City, but for years and years, I mean, since the beginning, decades, I guess, their shop was on the boardwalk. But it was a very soothing display, and I'm having quite the need to stitch a cute crab. I am going to StitchCon Weekend B, and I am in the Facebook group for StitchCon, and someone posted her crab stitch. That's what she picked for her smalls giveaway. Cutest. Someone's gonna be very lucky to get that. And she put it in a circular frame that looks like a life preserver. It is so cute, so perfect. But evidently that crab wasn't good enough, because then I found this one. This was last week. I got to visit and shop at Brick City Stitchers. And Brick City Stitchers is in Ocala, Florida, which is north of here. Very nice shop in a convenient strip mall. And I think Brick City is another local town name. Ocala is the bigger city, and then Brick City must have been like a smaller part of that. I didn't ask them that, but there were other, like, you know, Brick City coffee shop and stuff like that. So that is from Madame Chantilly, and that is called, sorry, I'm like showing and not telling too much here. So this is a Madame Chantilly, it's just called Summer. I think the other one you saw was, this is the Cricket collection, and it was Beachy Mood was the name of that. All right, I'm very excited about this. This is my one thing about whoever puts the price tags on charts. They put it like right in the center. I want to see the picture. So this is With Thy Needle and Thread, Spring Fling. There's the bunny. So I did not bring my supplies down to start this down here. I wanted to focus on some other of my Easter whips. Wanted to get the Easter this done, and so I'm very glad I accomplished that. But since this is definitely Spring Fling and not totally Easter, I have plenty of time in April to work on this. Yeah, I'm still deciding. I think what I did was I picked a fabric that is in this color that is a large count, so that I can do another larger pillow. So there's going to be some color changes going on there, and figuring that out when I get back. All right, and then the other charts that I found along my travels, this was also from Salty Yarns, Dear Diary, This goes back a few years. I think these are from 2018. So this is by Little House Needleworks, had a series, Dear Diary series, and this is Mary Heaton, 1878. I have been doing some research on pioneer stuff, and I'm kind of like into the Oregon Trail a little bit. So when I saw that, I kind of just, you know, had a moment. And the diary entries that she focused on somehow incorporate stitching. So this one is just very fun. This is from like 1878, actually from April 5th. Dear Diary, I am finally adjusting to life in our home in Indiana. And I'll just jump ahead here. I do miss New Haven and my friends there very much. I am keeping up with my sampler work, but I miss stitching with the other girls at school. I have a new friend who lives not far from here. Her name is Little Feather. So that just is so awesome to me. And then this one is Dear Diary, Emmeline Whitcomb, 1852. Show the picture. Just kind of reminds me of some of my area that I grew up in near Ole, Pennsylvania. And this one I'll read a little bit. Dear Diary, after many months of travel, we have finally arrived in Santa Clara in the state of California. Mercifully, our family arrived safely and without any problems. I have already made a new friend, Rosa. It is my hope to teach her the basic skills of fine needlework while she shares her gift of blanket weaving with me. Maybe someday her mother will allow me to watch as she dyes the beautiful fibers that they use in their colorful blankets and rugs. Perhaps she will dye new thread colors for me as well. So that is so neat. Emmeline Whitcomb. So of course, I don't know that I've really opened these up since I was shopping. It was, February went by like a blur because I was really trying to, I had to work, I was trying to keep up with packing a little bit at a time, getting stuff ready, getting the pet stuff ready to be away for a whole month. So I would like to actually look into these people a little bit more now. Okay, so I believe that concludes that part of the haul. I did want to, this is probably like really going on way longer than I thought. Well, we're at 37 minutes. I did want to show you some of the Lugana that I brought home with me. So I'm going to go through this a little bit. Okay, so this was from Brick City Cross Stitch. So this is the one, the shop from Ocala. This is a 28 count Lugana, cream and sugar. I saw the cream and sugar and I was like, yeah, I really want some of that. I hope that this shows up okay. I can tell that it's kind of dull looking for you. But there's just gentle modeling going on in this. And I did splurge on a fairly big piece because I just think it's so versatile. And I could probably even do like a quick tea dye to add a little bit more dimension if I felt I needed it. This one is a 28 Lugana, 28 count Lugana, and this is, it says HD title, and I can't remember if I know what the HD stands for. Unfortunately, I don't have the brand for these on here anymore. I don't know. She gave me like these tags are on them. But I'm just really a sucker for like that sea foam type color. Not too, you know, it's definitely not like a sky blue or anything, but this has really lovely modeling going on. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I've got stuff all over the place. I'm like, I'm Laura, and I need my own Brenda to put stuff back in my bags. I'm very excited that I saw that looks like they uploaded a new video today, so that's where I'm at after I'm finished here. This is a 28 count icon, it's called. They had a bin there of 50% off some of these pre-cuts, so I really love getting some of those because I feel like it gives you a chance to maybe get a few different colors, you know, in smaller amounts that you can try things out. Something like this is what I'm kind of thinking I might put the crab on because it will, you know, definitely be sort of like a red color on it. All right. And where's my other fabric pile? Oh, here we go. No, that's more of the other stuff. Oh, here it is, right behind me. I have a few of these, but at Salty Yarns, they had more colors than I've seen. So this is a kitchen towel, and I thought it would be fun to have a lavender for Easter. It might be Easter, it might be maybe a teacup or something, because I am also thinking ahead to my coronation stitching and what is that going to look like. So I'm kind of expecting that all of a sudden we're going to see this wave of charts coming about to mark the coronation. So I'm going to be all in on that. Okay, now I have a whole bunch of like linen color haul that I wanted to go through. This I might have shown before. This is Grace Notes Dyeing Company. This one is called, I feel like it says Jane Belly. I don't feel like it says Jelly Belly. And that's the color, yeah. And this is an Ada that is 18 count. Really, really nice. And I like supporting them because they are very close to home for me. They dye from Mertztown, evidently, Mertztown, Pennsylvania, and I went to Kutztown University. So I'm all about helping them. This is 20 count red pear of weeks. It is showing way more like cranberry than what it really is. So maybe you will see that in the future with something actually stitched on it. That might be showing a little bit better. I have not ever used, obviously I haven't used a week's linen before. So this is a linen rather than a Lugana, but because of the count, the 20 count, I feel like I can handle this pretty well. Just wanted to open it up to see if it has like modeling. It does have some variation. So this one is another week's that is called Charlotte's Pink. And the reason that I picked so many of these pinks is because when you go to Salty Yarns, I believe her name is Sandy, is the mother there who stitches on the large count. And they have so many pillows and her designs on the large counts, and so many of them I feel like are on like pink. So then I'm like, was it that pink? Or maybe it was this pink. But these were smaller cuts again that I think will be very darling for little Easter or spring type pieces. So what color was that? That was Charlotte's Pink. And this was Pink Sandy Beaches. So see my problem. So just ever so different, but this is also a Lugana, a 32 count Lugana. So that's a little bit tighter than the 28 for me. I will graduate into that. This is a 25 count antique green. This was also from Salty Yarns. So I do like green for Easter and spring items. Sometimes I look at those types of colors and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like dark or dull. But then when you have white or the lighter colors, you do need the background. So I struggle with that. I'm not a usually do the called for because I'm not stitching on linen all the time. So I can't always do the called for. And I sort of wing a lot of things. That's how I'm wired in life. Not sure what that is. Let's see. This was some that I actually hauled from last year. So this is the Delightful Kermit. My grandfather's name was Kermit. I do love the color, did love the frog, definitely love the grandfather. So of course I had to have some Kermit. And this is an 18 count Ada, which really, it's definitely 18 count, if not like a 20 count Ada. This is an Ivory Lugana, also from a 25 count from, I don't know, what would help here, from Salty Yarns. And I have just one last one. This is a Fabric Flare 28 count pink opal Lugana. If I didn't say that, it doesn't have Lugana written on it, but that's what it is. Oh, love it. And I have to wonder if this is what I was thinking I would put the spring fling or spring bunny on there. Although I think I need something a little bit darker. So, all right. Well, I think we're nearing the end here. As I said, it was going to be a lot of haul. Oh, I did have a few other things to show. One of the things I was really excited about yesterday with the Quilt Expo, I mean, it was called a Sewing Expo because there were classes and vendors there that are more on the fashion side of sewing. So as you walked through the aisles and booths, there were actually some costumes that were part of some of the contests that they had that were on display, and they were extraordinary. My thing is quilting. I've done some handbags, table runners, that sort of thing. But one of the shops that was there was Sally Tomato. And if you are at all interested in making handbags, you may have heard of Sally Tomato patterns. So they also have very well quality, nicely colored hardware for bags, so that when you're making your own handmade purse or whatever, people really think it's professionally done, but it, you know, kind of is professionally done because you're putting your own style into it. So I just wanted to show that these are some of the patterns that I picked up. They had a nice sale going on in their, like an expo special, going on in their booth, so that was exciting. So this is called the Myrna, and I really love, you know, like a simple crossbody bag like this with just, you know, many pockets, but easy for your going around shopping, all that sort of stuff. It's only 10 inches high. I know my mom was a little concerned, like she needs a little bit more of a higher length, a little bit bigger, so maybe I can make her a custom bag. This is called the Casey, and I did get a kit with different fabric. I'm not really crazy about this particular combination, but the fabric that I got is really cute. It's sort of like a travel theme of little postage stamps of big cities around the world. So that was cute. And a lot of these use cork, thin cork, or faux leather, faux suede now. I believe this is a faux suede, and I did see that there yesterday, but I didn't get any of that. It's so easy to sew with because it's called self-healing. So it's not like fabric that's gonna fray, and so you always have to turn the seams to the inside. With these types of vinyls or corks and whatever, you cut them and they won't fray. So it makes the sewing a lot easier in certain cases and certain patterns. But so that was very exciting to, it's one of those like great entrepreneurial stories. And so I met the brother of Jess, who was the face of Sally Tomato. Jess wasn't there at the time, but met her brother. Just wanted to show this parting piece. So this is my Silly Notions segment. When I was a little girl, different people in my family would often give me little craft kits. A lot of them I remember from being at Woolworths, stores like that, Nichols, and this was probably the only needlepoint that I was ever given and that I definitely finished. So this had been laying around forever, and I just happened to find it in with my mom's stuff in her storage. And I thought, well, you know what, it's time to make it into something. So I made it into this little needle book. I don't think I showed this last time. I think I showed just the bear in an unfinished state. So I have never made a needle book before, didn't really know what to do. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I really like this cute springish type fabric and the cats on there. I think I have a cute button that I picked out to sew a little loop and button on there. Okay, so that is it for this Flosstube. I hope that you enjoyed some of the things that I was able to show you, and please like and subscribe. I hope to share some of the videos of our adventures here in the villages, and hope to see you again real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy stitching.